Good morning, everybody. It is Heidi at Hen Chicks Studio, and Jamie and I are up bright and early this morning. Isn't it something like the early bird gets the worm?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. It's a busy day ahead, and so we wanted to get a little video out this morning. It is actually snowing a little bit this morning, so we're still not quite into the full spring. And we thought we would talk about wool. I think it's appropriate so that we stay warm today. But wool is not just for keeping us warm. It is a great texture for being able to work with embroidery. I've always loved the whole quilting, industry, because it's not necessarily just one kind of textile, right? We're most often using 100% cotton fabrics with prints on them and everything. But there are other textiles like wool and burlap and cheesecloth and velvet and burlap. What did I say, burlap? Okay. There's all sorts of things that can add texture to your pieces. And that has always attracted me. I've always enjoyed handwork and love doing different kinds of wool applique. And over the years here at Hen Chicks Studio, we have carried wool. We will continue to carry wool, but I have been making a slight switch. Wool is, just by the nature of the product, more expensive than a cotton fabric. And when you come on in and grab.
And Heidi, would you explain why?
Yes.
Let's just grab a piece.
Absolutely.
And explain why this piece of wool might be more expensive.
Sure. Because, first of all, this piece of wool here, which is, I believe this is actually considered about a fat quarter. It's just a little bit smaller because, first of all, wool shrinks. So in order to use wool for applique, oh, isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. And let's hang on to that for a second as I describe this. When you're using wool for applique, if it is felted, and that's a process that's different than felt, okay?
Right, yes.
Okay, when you take wool and put it in hot water or cold water and wash it, and then put it in a dryer and heat it, that's referring to as felting the wool. And in that process, it shrinks.
Yeah. Have you ever accidentally felted a sweater?
Yep.
Yeah. I have one too.
Yes. And the nice thing about felted wool is by doing that, your edges do not have to be turned under. So if you do traditional needle turn applique, you know that you turn edges under of the 100% cotton fabric, because otherwise those edges would ravel, they would come apart. Yeah. The nice thing about wool, you don't have to do that. So you don't have to make sure every edge is secured down, which gives you more texture, more depth potentially to your project. You can fuse wool to a background if that's the way you prefer. I don't, but you can. We have soft fuse for that. Mm-hmm. So there's so many different ways. Mm-hmm. But in that process of felting, many of the designers that are working with wool are then hand dyeing the colors and the motifs. So you're also getting,
it's almost a texture within a texture.
That's right. And you're getting, I'm going to say that's where the cost starts to rise, because there's more labor intensiveness into creating that piece of wool. So for example, and every wool can be different, and I've always priced it based on the sources that I'm getting it from rather than a blanket cost, because a more solid might not be as expensive as a hand-dyed tier. Even if this, so like for example, this piece right here, it's 13 inches by 16 inches and it's $12. Okay.
Basically
this one,
the same
thing here. This one, let's just look,
it's a little bit
smaller, and it's $10. So the smallest piece of wool we sell, if we've got it like this, when you're buying, is $10, unless it happens to be a little scrap or something.
Yes.
We do sell, and we'll probably be restocking these from the local farm girl, where you can get 3 pieces that are 6.5 by 8 inches in this little bundle, and these are $12.95, and there's so many pretty colors. So if you're wanting to stock up on wool, this is a great way to do it.
Plus, they just look cute.
One benefit about wool that is different than cotton, literally every inch of wool can be used. So the other day, if you didn't happen to catch Jamie's Take Home Tuesday, she needed a little orange beak for a chicken. Well, if it had been wool, literally that little sliver would have been fine from wool because it was felted and it was small. So there's a little bit difference in that, like every inch of this could technically be used. Okay, so needless to say, I want the, no, where was I going to do this one here? So for example, I want to talk about the kits that we're getting. And we happen to have a trunk show in, and so I'm going to show you some of those quilts. But we're getting these kits from Granny's Legacies. And I love how they package because they're consistent. So they dye their own wool. So when they create a kit over and over and over, they're using their own dyed wools, all that kind of stuff. But the benefit is the price for what you're getting. So so for example, in this kit, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, not including the black. Okay, there's 11 different colors right there. So if I came in the store and said, I need each of these colors, you'd be grabbing these big things and you would be up to $100.
And grab your sampler so they can see how small some of those
Yeah.
pieces are.
Yeah. And you'd be up to $100 in wool before you ever even got the black or any of the extras. Well, then that makes this kit a really good buy because it is
$57.50.
$57.50
for the whole. All the pieces you need are
plus the beads that you would put in there, that kind of thing. And so I think at that point, the only thing you need is the accessories of the needle, thread,
some of the supplies.
And of course, you can use DMC floss, which is rather inexpensive, and a lot of us have that already. But this is the kit. Now, I did not finish my mother did all the stitching. Thank you, Mom. And she said, Heidi, can you do the stem stitch? Sure, Mom, I'll get that done. Well, a couple years later, I still haven't gotten the stem stitching done.
Which is what she's referring to on this picture is.
That's what it's supposed to be like the stems between the flowers. I think it looks gorgeous without it.
I think it looks gorgeous without it as well.
But that's why I haven't finished it, so you can actually you can see the front and back because I was supposed to do that and I haven't gotten it done. So I sort of want to, because people come in and I think the first reaction, I'm going to just throw that up here at the moment. I think the first reaction is, oh, wow, the kit is $57.50, but I want you to understand what all is going into that kit and why that is really a very good deal.
Oh, and it is. And I think it's just it's a different, you wrapping your mind around a different approach to how the cost is figured into this. Yes. It's expensive, but yet by purchasing it through the pre-made kit, it's making it more affordable to our consumer.
Absolutely.
To get started or to start a new project.
And like if I tried to kit it, I don't have all these colors.
Right.
So it becomes very difficult for me to do it. We've gone down that path before. We learn from what we do.
Right.
And long term, I'm going to be looking for more designers that do more kits like this. So let me show you. Let's show them what we've got here. So let's start with this guy.
Okay.
This is the Dancing Leaves pillow. And I love this. And again, there's so many things about wool that we could talk about. The nice thing about wool, okay, so you've got all these shapes. I do like to use the die cut machine to cut shapes out as well. That's a whole nother thing. But we'll do that another time. But the stitches themselves on this particular piece are very simple. It's just like a blanket stitch or a simple tack stitch. You don't have to get fancy with stitches. You can keep it really simple. But notice the really cute wood, like a branch cut button in the middle. That's even in the kit. And so this kit is $69.50. And it does include like this dark gray background. Also, that's in the pillow. That is in the kit as well. So again,
and on this pillow, I would note that this is, you were talking about combining cottons,
yes,
and wools together. This is not a wool piece here.
Yes, and even if you happen to watch either our interview with Corey Turner Goodhart a month ago or last night with Brenda Riddle. People are combining wool and cotton all the time. Again, on another time when we get on, I'll show you what I'm working on where I'm combining wool and flannel. So it's very normal to be able to do that. So this is called Dancing Leaves. These are all on our website.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm just noticing as I'm looking at this closely, there's some feathers in here that are mixed in.
And you know,
little helicopters.
You can get as fancy as you want with your stitching, and or you can keep it very, very simple. Okay, so I'm going to set that one down, and as we go through some of these, you'll see a little bit different. This is Boho Garden. And that this could easily be a pillow. My mom stitched that one as well. And that kit, I'm gonna find it.
But again, Heidi, on this one, what I'm wanting people to see is there's not complex stitching really happening on this. No, it's very simple stitches.
Yes, and this is a linen, and it has a fusible interfacing that you stitch into. So if you turn it over, you can see, and that is included in the kit. I can see it right here in the kit. So again, the kit is making it very convenient that you do not have to.
It's kind of pretty from behind.
Oh, it is very pretty. I do like the stitching. So this would make a 12 by 16 throw pillow, $34. And again, look at all of those pretty colors that are in there. But you know, to be honest, do I need a 12 by 16 inch piece
of those any of those bright colors?
So again, it makes it convenient that you can get all the wool pieces, but very simple. Okay.
And I gotta say, this is the one I was hoping we would get. But what I like about it is I could see it if you had some scraps at home after you've done the kit, easily being able to transfer it into a different colored path, or even using some cottons.
Yes. So this is Addison, and just a little table mat. You could put it on, the center of a little table. Make a little decoration on it. This kit is $31.25. It makes an 8.5 inch round mat.
Isn't that cute? So whimsical.
The other thing about doing wool and embroidery is that the wool might be expensive, but the other accessories, I don't have to go out and buy a several $100 sewing machine or anything like that. And I'm going to just grab.
Now, Heidi, on that when you're talking about it, question is, are the beads, these little beads that add just that little bit of shine, are they included?
Yes.
Okay, so that is a part of the kit as well.
Right. So again, you don't have to go find those seed beads. Like for me to source those, it's just a whole nother thing. So I love the fact that those seed beads are included. Absolutely. So when we talk about what you need for doing all of these projects, a $2 package of my favorite gold eye embroidery needles, and a $3.95 super snip scissors, which is the recommendation from Corey Turner Goodhart, that you could travel with. And they are quite little, sharp little scissors. It's a good thing there's a thing on. And you're going. If you have that and some DMC floss, which runs at this point 91 cents, I think I'm signing up for 91 cents a skein. So once you get the kit, the other accessories are not very much. You can, of course, go up, because of course we all have scissor fetishes. This one's $21.99 for a fun little snip. And two of my favorite, I'll hold these, Jamie, and you hold those. Two of my favorite scissors, and I brought mine from home, are the Famore scissors. They are great for cutting wool, and I love the Karen K. Buckley scissors as well. They're very, very sharp and very point. So if I'm trying to get a very sharp into a very small corner of wool, I love these scissors, and those are $31.95. And how much are the Famore? $18, and they're all on our website. So those are on our website. So again, if you want to get here, I'm trying to put the cover on the wrong one. If you want to get more involved, and of course, we've had this discussion with Corey. We've had the discussion last night with Brenda. Are you using hoops or not hoops? I am not a hoop person unless I'm doing a hoop stitch, would be like a satin stitch. I tend to like just holding it all in my hand, but we of course have hoops as well if you need those. Okay, so lots of little different things. So here's another small mat, the Tussie Mussy.
So cute.
Oh, it is perfect for spring right now. And again, that wool plaid that's behind there, that's in the kit. They even have like a wool with a little sparkle in it. And again, that's all part of the kit. $22.95 for the Tussie Mussy.
I don't know.
Can you see it?
I can see that sparkle. It's in there.
Yep, it's in there, but it's so cute. Okay. And
but
then,
even still, on all of these that we're showing, mostly running stitches, blanket stitch, some French knots, I think is mostly what I'm seeing.
You can layer stitches to add more depth and more, but most of it is very, very straightforward. French knots, those kinds of things. Okay, it is not September, it is September. The September Serenade. I love the simplicity of this. It's an 8 by 20 inch mat, and it is just adorable. I think very, very simple. Again, I love how they outline stitched.
Yes. To create another
set of texture there. This kit is $32.85.
Yeah, and of course we have these in the store for a limited time of the samples, the trunk show.
The patterns, yeah.
But the kits and stuff we'll keep in the store for.
But we wanted to be able to have you. I can't get all the samples done immediately, kind of thing. So we wanted you to see. This is winter solstice.
Beautiful.
And okay, it's a little bit bigger. It is a 21 by 15 oval mat. But I love the feather stitches.
Yeah, that they used to create. So this one used, again, not a complicated stitch, but just perhaps a bit more stitching to create that.
Yes. And all those beads you need, as you're seeing any of the beads that are on that mat, they are all included in this kit. It's $49. And all those beads are included. So again, as you can see, everything is in there. The backing is even included. I can see. So you know what? That makes me wonder. I'll have to go back and look if the backing's included in all of them. Because I see the backing plaid that was on the sample is included in the kit. Nice. I love that it's
now, Heidi, how much was that again?
That was $49.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Very, very nice.
And what a beautiful, beautiful thing to set out.
Something that's going to be like an heirloom.
Yes.
Now, this I thought was, I'll show the one that we don't have a sample for. Another holiday one. I liked the holiday bounty with the cornucopia, but the poinsettias coming out of it. We do not have a store display of that at the moment. But again, a great pattern, $52. All the beads, the wool included in the kit. And are you seeing the backing in all of them?
I'm seeing the backing.
Yep, and I see backing in this one too. So isn't that awesome that it's all right there for you? I love that. And then last, I think this is the last one, but not least, again, wanted to go with something maybe a little bit different. Just thinking that
there's a little whimsy on this one. That's so cute.
And I don't know, maybe I'm already
dreaming of Minnesota.
Yes, northern Minnesota fishing trip, but it has a different flavor. Again, this is what's fun about wool, is that you can start to create more shapes, tell a story with the pattern. And this one is called, North Woods Nightfall. And, okay, I'll let you hold that. And look at again, the detail on that one is.
Now, somebody is saying on the comments here, the video quit. Can somebody give a thumbs up if you're still seeing the video? Because on our screen, it is looking like the video is still there. So I'm not sure if it quit or somebody else is just having, okay, they can still see. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So thank you for telling us, because
it's always hard, because it could be our connection, it could be your connection, it could be a combination of connections. But North Woods Nightfall, it's a 16 by 21 inch oval mat, and it is $49. Again, includes the beads. I see background, the whole bit, the
little bobber
in there. Yeah,
the little bobber stuck in the tree.
That's never happened to me.
Never.
We
have a tree at our pond at the lake that has some permanent tree decor.
Oh, sure.
Just hanging there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we just wanted to come in this morning and take a little bit of time. And this is another great example. Why don't you pull that up? Because I think they'll be able to see it better. So wool and embroidery, like we've been talking about, can easily be combined with other patterns and different things.
Textile, different fabrics.
Yeah. This was Corey Turner Goodhart, and her interview was about a month ago. And this pattern, she actually does hexagons in cotton. It's a 1/2 inch hexagon on top of a 1 inch hexagon. This is cotton. This is wool. And this is cotton.
Let's bring that up just a little bit, Heidi, so you can see that she's combining, as Heidi was mentioning, she's combining the wool here with cotton here, and then her blanket stitching and just some running
part
stitches.
Part of her stem is cotton. Part of her stem is embroidery. I don't know if let me show you this purple one. This purple one's pretty graph. I mean, so you can see the difference in the.
Yeah.
Can you see that one?
And I bet she just kind of had fun as she was doing each one.
Everyone could be very different. And we are getting, we have the 1/2 inch hexagons are here. The 1 inch hexagons have been on back order. We're getting those. But again, great combination. And that little sliver of wool, again, if you came in today, I would have to sell you, something like either one of these bundles because I don't have a kit for this. Although we do have some perfect fabric. For the words.
Yeah, we do.
We've got in the background, we've got everything you would need. It's just that we would put together. Now, if you have wool in your stash, then a project like this becomes super easy. So even if you buy a kit, if there's any leftover slivers, you sort of want to keep some of those because guess what? I mean, this didn't take much in this little leaf. So you might want to be able to do that. Usually with the kits, they get a lot more exact because of the cost. There isn't a ton of waste, but it's still possible. So this is the May 26th pattern. Let's see. I think it's underneath in the corner. This is the May 26th pattern by Corey Turner Goodhart, excuse me. And that is $10 and on our website as well. And I have to say, part of me wants to start collecting fabrics to do this as well.
I know. It's a beautiful cloth.
Oh, it is. It is. It's just gorgeous. But all of this to say that working with your hands, working with your hands is fabulous, right? Could wool applique be done on the machine? Yes, it can. You can fuse the wool down. You can use your machine to do the embroidery stitches. You sure can. It's a different method. I like to use wool for the handwork. It travels well. It's easy to pick up and put down. All of those kinds of things. So if you've seen any pictures on social media of me working on my Suzani quilt, I travel even with big pieces. So another day I'll pull out my Suzani and show you what I am doing. So until later, have fun and be creative.